back up a bit. Just run over there and get the merger on the back of this thing. Since it's what they gave me to use with. Press the right button. Turn that off for a minute. Jump back to the other tractor. Yeah, if you pay attention, you will notice that I don't do very well with the narrower seeding equipment. 3-meter equipment is always hard to get right. When I get up to about 6-meter equipment, I'll start using the row markers so that I can track. Yeah, I can actually do it from in the cab. You drop the correct row marker, and then when you turn around, you just drive with the mark straight down the narrow, or straight down the middle of the tractor hood. Okay, we will stick that there. We have the baler and we have the pickup trailer to bring back. So I'll turn that off. And we can get this bit rolling. Hopefully not hit any trees as we come through here. Where is the start of that track? There. This is what I don't like. Reverse. This is where I really have to start thinking about it. Close enough. Lower. Engage. Forwards. Let's see, I missed a tiny little bit there. We now are pretty much on the line. And for Farm Sim 19, I'm trying to be a little bit less I don't know how you'd say it, particular about how close my driving is. I'm even trying to do fertilizing and weeding and cultivating by eye, seeding. So I'm trying not to worry too much. Oh, I've missed a couple of tiny bits. Well, that's not big in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, if I fertilize 91% or 99% of the field and I've got a couple of patches I missed, it really doesn't matter that much. So long as I cover most of it, or the vast majority of it, that should be sufficient. I mean, sometimes I'm getting a little bit overzealous, we did end up with a couple of weekends off on my part. So I think the only 19 consistency I've had in the last 2 weeks has been Old Stream Farm. Since the rest of 19 I've got field mounting on Sunday and Monday. I've got this map on Fridays, and I've got law folds on Saturdays when I go away at the weekend, or we have 5 kids for the entire weekend. Then those 3 farms don't happen. There we go. It's fine. Of course, we played a lot of warships this week because Truck Sim's undergoing an update, and we've got an awful lot of mismatches between Truckers MP and World of Trucks. So from Tuesday next week I will probably preempt Old Stream Farm, and instead we'll go with ATS Washington single play. I may also do that on Wednesday, and then Thursday, if Truckers MP is updated, we may do a run of ATS multiplayer on Thursday. But we'll be spending as much of the time possible up in Washington State because it's new. Yeah, I had all sorts of plans earlier this year to increase the stream schedule. But unfortunately, maybe not unfortunately, we got some foster kids done, and so the expanded schedule didn't work out. Okay, I think what I'll try and do is I'll run down the outside of the field once and then re-merge again towards the middle. Oh, don't go that far. There we go. That in. Spin around, and so I'll probably keep just to the left of that. I think you lose a little bit of hay every time it goes through a merger or windrower. hopefully I'm not shooting myself in the foot doing this. Okay, that's done. Get that folded up. And stick it off along the side. I saw this contract and thought, oh, I'm getting a New Holland. And when I actually got the tractor, I found out, oh, it's actually a Valtra. Which is quite amusing considering I'm being accused of being rather partial to Valtras. Seems every time I start playing Farm Sim, the Valtra N is my starter tractor. And then I figure out alternatives to it. In fact, for the longest time in Farm Sim 17, the Valtra N was the only Valtra I ever drove from the Valtra stable. Didn't bother with the S or T. I'd use other big tractors, Massey Ferguson's and what have you, fence. But Oldstream Farm I played only with fence and then only with New Holland. Lawfolds I played as a mixture. I never really decided to use one manufacturer's worth of vehicles. Are we going to make it? Yes, we are. Nobody coming. Yay. Honestly don't know what the horsepower of that tractor is. 200. In that case, I will put this one. What's that? Well, yeah. Except maybe when I'm playing World of Warships. That can get quite stressful at times. Okay, we will stick this on the pickup trailer. Now, around where I live, there is a New Holland with the side arm mowing kit, if you know what I mean. It's kind of like a backhoe with a mower attachment on it. And that was running around behind a New Holland around here. But it's about the only New Holland I've seen in the area. Why isn't this going? Oh, well, because the engine's not on. That could always make a difference. The last couple of weeks I've seen a lot of old Massey Fergusons. Not ancient, but just old. Okay. Too many pushes in the button. There we go. So, we'll do a follow 25 meters. That's probably okay. And engine's still on. We just need to engage. Drive forwards. And nobody coming. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously contracted by the local council to do verge work, and we do have a lot of sort of drainage ditches along the edge of the roads in places, so that kind of helps. But it's quite a new model. It's not an old Ford style New Holland. And yeah, hi God of Thunder. How are you today? When we were vacationing in Ohio, we saw a lot of new tractors. Nice new shiny blue New Holland. Probably T6, T7 sort of size. Not exactly sure which one, because we went past it at sort of 50 miles an hour. It was parked up on the front in the front yard. I didn't get a chance to examine it closer. And we did see a Case 250 and I think a 350, maybe a bit larger. Okay. Nope. Turn that off and run around the back. Oh, and of course the gear shifters. So we get this unfolded. Over the front and turn it on. Yeah, I'm thinking this baler is way beyond the means of this tractor. Let's have a look. Technology 140 horse. That's a 174. That's a big engine. 174 Valtrain before the mods. 174, that's 201. So that should easily have the power to haul this thing. Of course, the condition of the baler could be bad. This is a more draining hill than I think it is. I gave it some thought. The thing with a multiplayer server is either do you have it up 24/7, or do you have it up just for streams? And if I am streaming a multiplayer server, then how's it going to be structured? Oh, okay, take care, long hauler. Good grief, this is crawling along. What did I say the Fent was? 230 horse? Because this is crawling, this will be about 4 miles an hour. Real money. That's getting easier, so I'm guessing it's the slope on the hill that's the problem. Through that and spin about. Oh, missed a bit. Maybe it's the amount of grass that's picking up at the front. Oh no. That's better. Now I think the problem with this map is you head uphill as you go south to north. I mean, it's one of the reasons why on Lawfolds I'm running sort of 380 horsepower tractors for a lot of the jobs, even light, relatively light work. Whoa. I don't know why that went spinning off into nowhere. Yeah, as I said, I'm probably reserving Lone Oak. I never played Lone Oak in Farm Sim 17. I did sort of have a quick look playthrough, just potter around in it, nothing serious. But I think I'm going to reserve Lone Oak for when Seasons comes out and play it as a Seasons map. And I will probably bring the Class 900 in for that one as at least one of my main tractors. And I'll probably up it from a 940 to something a little bit bigger. Because Lone Oak hills are much steeper than Lawfolds. Lawfolds are just long and draining, much like this one. When you look at this, that is quite a hill, but it's not hugely bad. But as part of the fuel power changes that they incorporated in the 19, which I mean were effectively part of the real fuel usage mod in 17, you need, you know, the horsepower for the equipment plus horsepower to overcome the weight of the equipment plus horsepower to overcome the weight of the tractor. And then if you're going uphill, plus a bit more. So I'm kind of used to playing that way with law folds in 17. So it's not such a big deal doing pretty much the same thing in 19, as it's part of the base game now. But you kind of don't have that option when you're running contracts. You get what you're given, or you use what you have. And in both cases, this field needs high 200s horsepower to run this sort of baling equipment. And I don't have that available to me. Not as a borrow, nor as an own use. I'm going to zigzag through these little bits here, and we can end up at the top of the field and come back down with the assistance of gravity. And the last row should be fairly light because it's only a single merge. Just a bit there. I think I missed another bit somewhere up here as well. I just don't know where. Okay, so this will be last of the big row. Ah. That kind of wouldn't surprise me, because part of Giant's, oh, there it is, sort of pre-release 19 announcements were they wanted to give us a reason to replace our equipment. Because I mean, you look at my Lawfolds playthrough, and that Class 900, I've had it since I started playing, and it has probably somewhere in the region of about 140, 150 hours on it now. And I have no incentive to replace it. It does what I need it to, so much so that I bought a second one. And the same is kind of true of the equipment I'm using. Most of the equipment I've got is exactly what I need. Now when you start off on a farm, I mean with this farm we're still running, low 200, 150 horse tractors, and pretty much none of the equipment requires more than 150 horsepower. But as we earn more money and merge the fields together, we are going to want to replace the small equipment we started with larger equipment. So there's that much of an incentive. But once you're established, short of moving on to a new farm, the equipment you have services all of your needs. Yeah, even this hill with this amount of hay on the ground is struggling. Yeah, and that's going to be quite a bit of a what's the word for it? An impediment to making money initially. If you're sinking a load of your costs into keeping your old equipment running, it's going to make your startup harder. In some ways, it's probably going to make starting as a farm manager easier. There it is. That's what I was looking for earlier. Because as a farm manager, you always start with new equipment. We pump that out back, and I'm going to park that.